Hey everybody, welcome to the ranch. It's Monica and I am preparing for Christmas in July. That's right. I'm part of a collaboration with Jenny Goff over at Jenny's Scratch Made Kitchen. She is doing Christmas in July, and this is the time to prepare now for all those Christmas and holiday season gift givings or all the things you need to get ready now. So come along with me today, make some jelly and some jam as I prepare for Christmas right now in July. Let's go. Hey guys, so I'm sitting in my garden just hanging out, thinking about all the wonderful things that we've been blessed with, but I'm also thinking about all the life changes we've had this year. You know, within a month, I had a son get married and I became a grandmother. That's a lot of change. And with those changes can sometimes come identity changes. You know, I have a new title. I'm a grandmom. I'm a mom. The good thing about me is that I do have Eric to talk to. And Eric and I can talk to one another and we can get through these changes together and we can feel like we can kind of work through what we're dealing with together. But not everybody has somebody, and maybe you don't have someone that you feel like you can talk to or trust. And that's okay, because I think I might be able to help. Therapists listen, ask questions, and they can help you see things from a whole new perspective. They can give you advice and techniques to make positive changes in your life. BetterHelp is the sponsor of today's video, and they're on a mission to make starting therapy easier. All you have to do is fill out the questionnaire and you are going to be matched with a therapist in as little as a couple days. You can easily switch therapists at any time at no extra cost to you if it's not the right fit. That's awesome because I want to talk to someone that fits with me and my style. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. Just click the link in the description below or go to betterhelp.com/Bland's Ranch. It's going to be right here. Go there and get 10% off your first month of therapy. Guys, you don't have to deal with all these life changes by yourself. If you don't have your own personal Eric to talk to, you might need somebody. So go ahead, reach out. Don't deal with these things alone. Now, let's get back to the video and see what's going on. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to look a little different in each one of these clips because this process for me for grapes takes a few days. I really like the idea of letting the grape juice sit and settle in my refrigerator. So I'm going to make sure I show you some pictures of that. Hopefully I got some pictures of that as it goes along. But today is like day 3. And so I have actually done the process, but I wanted to make sure that I came on here and kind of told you what was going to happen. I'm going to just kind of rewind time, go back and show you from the picking of the grapes to the washing of the grapes to getting it started and getting it all put in the pots. So let's rewind. Blah, blah, blah.
Chill on the couch, she's not bothering. No, she has it out.
All right, guys, let's get started making some jelly or jam or whatever we're making here. First, you're going to take your fruit and go ahead and get it into the strainer, into the sink, and get them rinsed off. I've got to rinse off each one of these grapes to make sure there's nothing in it or on it. Sometimes you can find worms in your fruit. Sometimes the fruit's damaged, whatever it is. You're just going to run it through the water and make sure it looks good. Make sure it's firm and make sure it's just not a soggy mess. Any of the extras I'm going to take and put to the side, the leaves, the sticks. Some of the stems I'm just leaving on. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal to leave them on. But make sure you're rinsing them really well under that cool water and getting out any of the extra debris. So I can see right here, there's a good one. I'm going to show you where I'm putting it into that big pot. Those little stems are not a problem. They will just cook down. Now, we've got some water here. This is about 4 cups. I've got a really big stock pot, so I am putting about 4 cups of water in here. You probably don't need this much, maybe 2 cups, depending on what you've got, but I want a lot of juice. So adding the water and getting it going. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on this. I'm going to put it on to medium heat and let it simmer until it's time to basically just kind of smash it down. You can see here there's some juices cooking up, so now I can take my smasher, mash it all up, and start to really release all that goodness that's inside of the grapes. So this has been simmering for hours. I even overflowed, you can see. I made a mess. Made a mess over there. Yeah, This has been simmering for hours, and so I am going to let it simmer a little longer because I gotta go pick up the Jeep. But when I get back, I'm going to strain it and get all that juice out of it so that I can let it sit. And what I'm gonna do is let it kind of sit in my fridge overnight so that I can have the solids, or more of like the mash that does make its way through the cheesecloth. All of that can sit at the bottom, and you'll see, just stick with me. Okay, I'm back from my Jeep trip, and now I am taking all this goodness that was in the stock pot and I'm dumping it into my colander. I didn't have cheesecloth, actually. I could not find it. So I'm just using the colander, and the colander is totally fine, guys. If this is what you have, then use what you have. So I am straining out as much of the juice as possible. I have no patience, so I'm not going to let it sit for days and try to get it all strained out over the course of, several hours or minutes or whatever it is. So I'm just putting it in there. I'm kind of moving it around, getting all the juice and the liquid out. You can see some of that sediment is sticking to the bottom of my colander, and that's completely okay. As long as there's no chunks in there, I'm fine with it. It's all going to make jelly or jam just the same, or at least I think it will anyway. I'm going to dump the juice out into the mason jars and stick it in my fridge. This is going to sit overnight because that's what I have time for. Okay, I forgot to show you a picture of it separated. So let's just go ahead and get started with today. I am adding 7 cups of sugar. Yes, guys, 7 cups of sugar. This is a recipe with pectin, the Sure Gel, and so I need 7 cups of sugar. Some of that's cane sugar, some of it's just the white granulated. Either way, it's sugar, 7 cups into a bowl, ready to go. Now you can see a little bit there of its separation, but here's the end of my 1 gallon jar of juice. So I am measuring out 5 cups of juice. There's my 4 cups. I'm going to go into my stock pot that I'm going to turn on to a medium heat to try to get it to simmer and get it nice and hot. Here's my last little cup. Add it in there, and I just need to basically heat this up really good. But I also forgot to tell you I added sugar, and I don't know why I don't have any footage, but there it is, me stirring that sugar in and just making sure it's mixed in really well while the pot is basically coming to temperature. So I want to turn this on and get it going nice and hot, get it up to a boil. But before it starts really get going, we got to do something else. All right, it's super important to get your jars ready. There you go, that makes perfect sense. It's super important to get your jars ready now before your jam, jelly, whatever it is that you put on the stove even starts. You gotta get these clean before anything else happens. I'm using some pint jars, and I'm going to be using some half pints and some little baby ones too. I am going to be putting these into 2 different canners, so I'm okay with that. And I'm going to be using my pressure canner, my electric pressure canner, but it does water bathing, so I'm going to show you all that too. So wash your jars. All right, guys, jars are clean, and my juice is coming to a boil. So once it's to a boil, a rolling boil, you're going to go ahead and add that pectin. I've got the pectin added in there, and normally I would use a whisk, but my whisk is nowhere to be found. So I'm going to go ahead and keep stirring in with what I've got. Use what you got, make it work. I'm going to stir that pectin in really good. And once it's all stirred in, we're going to wait for it to come back to a rolling boil. A rolling boil means that you cannot push away that boil anymore, right? It's just constantly going no matter how much stirring you're doing. And you can see here that it is definitely to a rolling boil. So I'm going to set my timer, a 1-minute timer. And once that is done, you are going to turn it off and you're going to remove it from the heat. Now, let's add them to the jars and then we'll go from there. Four pints and a quarter pint, yes please. So now I'm going to take all of my jars that are going to go into the canner. I'm wiping down the edges, wiping down all the rims, putting on the seals and the rings, making sure they're just finger tight, not too tight. And then for the little tiny one, I'm going to go ahead and add a plastic lid. Now I'm going to put this into my refrigerator, and I use these reusable jars because I like to keep the lids, the other ones, the seals and everything. I like to keep those lids ready for when I want to can something. So this reusable, super easy. I got a pack of them from Walmart, the wide mouth and the regular mouth. I'm going to put this on the counter, let this gel up. And in the meantime, we're going to take these bad boys, these hot ones, and go get them into my canner. It's over here. I'm going to get the canner started, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Came over here to the sink to fill up my water. And let me show you who's enjoying his lazy day. Look at that guy. Are you having the best day ever? Oh my goodness. Mr. Milo, are you having a good day? Well, hello. Oh, sorry I woke you up. Don't mind me. Let me just get in here real quick. Thanks. Appreciate you. We're gonna fill this up with hot water. It needs to be hot because we're gonna fill up our water bath canner with hot jars. So hot water, hot jars, it all works together. Very hot. It's gotta be very, very hot. Okay, so I'm over here at my water bath canners. I actually have them right here on my bench right now because I was water bath canning a bunch of stuff yesterday while we were trying to get ready for 4th of July and I was cooking. So I digress. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take your hot jars, hot jars, and you're gonna stick them into your Nesco electric canner. Now, if you don't have an electric canner, you can water bath them. It's not that hard to do. It's the same principle, except what you're gonna wanna do is have a pot of boiling water already starting to boil, big pot, stock pot, whatever it is, or your water bath canner. And then you're gonna take your hot jars and you're going to use your little clipper things, your little bloop bloops things, and you're going to put them into the hot boiling water, making sure to cover above them. Now, same principle here, but I'm using my electric pressure canner because my electric pressure canner or my electric canner is easy for me. I can set it, I can watch it, and then I can walk away after a little bit and it's done and I don't have to worry about counting down and setting timers and all. A couple buttons and it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, so I put the jars in there, just kind of, I only have 4. I did 2 of these canners yesterday filled, and I'll show you that jelly in a second that I pulled out. But these are empty. It's an empty canner. I got them on the rack in there. I turned the canner on. It's just going to sit there for a second, and we're going to fill this up with some hot water. Hot. All right. So this is now at the full line and it's above each jar. It's well above each jar. It's got a little bit left. You can't really see, but it's above each jar. So we're gonna close this. We're gonna close this up. Make sure it's on exhaust. Then we're gonna go ahead and do water bath. $10 minutes and start. And then once this starts having steam pretty constant right here, I'm gonna just hit the start button again right there and we're set to go. But I'll bring you back and show you that. All right, so the timer went off. It's cooled down. Well, it's kind of cooled down. Everything's still pretty hot in there. Open it up. Now I'm going to just take them out, pull them straight up. Oh, I can hear them popping. Put them right here. Now, the thing about these, this is grape jelly, just like I did yesterday, but I used a lot of the sediment today. A lot of the darker stuff that was at the bottom of the jars. And let me show you the difference between the sediment and the top part of the jelly. Because yesterday I used pure juice. And look at how clear that is. And this, I used a lot of the sediment and the stuff at the bottom of the jars. Look at the difference in color. There's a little bubble in there. All right, so I'm gonna have someone try the difference between the one I made yesterday and then the one I made today. This is from the juice on the top. This one's from the sediment as well as the juice. I mean, it's all juice, but it's a little darker in color. So I'm interested to see if they taste different or if they taste similar. Okay, so here's the difference in the scoopable. That one scoops out like that. This one scoops out a little thicker. Oh wow, this is kind of like, almost like a jam. Definitely more of a jelly consistency. This one's more like creamy, like a jam. Okay, so try the, oh, it's gonna fall off. Try the jelly from yesterday first. What say ye? Tastes good?
That's good.
Okay, now try the stuff I made today. Again, it's a different consistency, so it's not really as gelled. Still good?
Yeah, this one tastes like more of like an apple butter.
So this one has more of a, like a butter consistency, like a smoothness to it, but this is more like a gel.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. The gel. The creamy more like a jam or like a butter. All right, guys, thanks so much again for coming and be a part of this. I appreciate you so much. And honestly, I'm so glad you're here. Come back at the end of the month. There's going to be another video from me on July 22nd. But in the meantime, also don't forget to go check out the playlist over on Jenny's Scratch Made Kitchen. You're going to see the playlist for the Christmas in July. And there's going to be lots of other ideas, great recipes, and different craft ideas for you to get prepared for Christmas right now in July. See ya.